Picture a silent jungle evening where shadows stretch long across the ground and every heartbeat feels like a drum. Suddenly, the tranquility is shattered. Out of nowhere, a terrified deer bursts into view, sprinting with desperate speed. Behind it, a predator closes in. The sound of paws pounding, teeth flashing, hunger burning. The deer has no choice. Its path is blocked, and in sheer panic, it leaps into the river. The splash shatters the stillness. For a moment, it seems safe. The predator left snarling on the shore. But safety was an illusion. Beneath the water, another danger waits. This place is a watery labyrinth, murky depths hiding perils unseen. And here, patiently lurking, is a nightmare made real. A crocodile, its eyes like golden coins, ready to seize what fate brings within reach. Will the deer escape the land only to meet death in the water? Or can it defy the odds, rewrite its fate, and conquer this aquatic domain? The jungle holds its breath. As the deer thrashes, fighting to keep its head above the current, a ripple on the surface warns of something far worse. A crocodile glides forward, silent and merciless, its eyes locked on the struggling animal. The jungle watches from the banks, birds frozen on branches, monkeys clutching each other, as one battle ends and another begins. The crocodile strikes, its jaws snapping shut just as the deer twists away, hooves thrashing with wild strength. Water explodes upward, a storm of struggle unfolding. The predator is relentless, dragging the deer deeper, while the deer's fight grows weaker with each frantic kick. It seems over. Another victim claimed by the river. Yet destiny still has one last turn. The current suddenly shifts, pulling both prey and predator downstream. The crocodile, determined to finish the kill, slams against submerged rocks, losing grip for a split second. The deer, bruised but alive, kicks free, carried by the flow. The jungle gasps as the impossible happens. The prey survives, not by overpowering, but by refusing to surrender. And then, as if the river itself is rooting for the underdog, it helps the tired animal to escape. The deer, wounded but conscious, staggers onto the far bank. The predator disappears beneath the surface, defeated not by another beast, but by the strength of one animal's will to keep fighting even when all hope seemed gone. The jungle stirs again. Birds cry out, monkeys chatter, and the wind carries a message through the trees. Courage can be stronger than teeth, persistence greater than jaws. The deer stumbles into the forest, each scar a mark of survival, each breath proof that even the weakest can overcome when they choose not to give up. That night, the story spread across the wilderness. The deer that leaped into water to escape one predator, only to face another, yet lived to see the dawn. It became more than survival. It became a lesson. Danger may change its face, trials may come one after another, but as long as life beats within, there is a chance to rise again. And when the sun rose, painting gold across the river, the deer stood tall. It was no longer just prey. It was living proof that sometimes the most shocking ending is not defeat, but survival that inspires every creature that hears the tale. In the heart of the dense green jungle, where sunlight struggled to touch the ground, there lived a herd of graceful deer. Their days were spent browsing on tender shoots, and their nights were filled with the soft rustle of leaves and the lullaby of the chirping crickets. Life was serene, predictable, and peaceful. One evening, as the sky blazed with hues of orange and purple, a young deer named Fawn was separated from the herd. She had wandered off, captivated by the dance of a blue morpha butterfly, its wings a stained glass window against the setting sun. When she finally looked back, she realized with a jolt that the familiar brown shapes of her family were nowhere to be seen. Fear pricked at her. The jungle, so tranquil during the day, was a different world at night. Every snapping twig, every rustling leaf seemed a whisper of unseen predators. As darkness deepened, a low growl resonated through the trees. Fawn froze, her ears twitching. She recognized that sound. It was the menacing rumble of a tiger, the undisputed ruler of this jungle domain. Her heart hammered against her ribs. What was she to do? She couldn't outrun the tiger. His powerful legs could easily eat up the ground that she covered. Turning back meant facing the same danger that lay behind. There was no escape except one. With a desperate snort, Fawn charged towards the nearby watering hole. The tiger closed behind. She knew the watering hole was dangerous. It wasn't just a source of water, it was also home to a giant crocodile. A beast that lurked beneath the murky surface, waiting to snatch unsuspecting prey. But for Fawn, the risk was worth taking. The tiger couldn't follow her into the water. Even he wasn't that desperate. As Fawn plunged into the water, the splash announcing her arrival, she heard the tiger roar in frustration on the bank. She had bought herself some time, but that didn't mean she was safe. Not by a long shot. The crocodile had sensed her entry. Fawn could feel its gaze boring into her, assessing, calculating, waiting. She swam frantically, trying to make sense of the dark, murky water. The crocodile had to strike soon, or the tiger would lose interest and move on. Fawn's heart pounded in her chest, her breaths coming in sharp gasps. She could hear the crocodile moving in the water, its heavy steps like drumbeats on her nerves. Then she felt it, a sudden tug on her leg, sharp and strong. Fawn screamed, kicking out wildly. She knew that if the crocodile managed to drag her under, she wouldn't come out, but the crocodile was too strong. Despite her struggles, it was pulling her down into the cold, dark depths. Fawn thrashed in the water, her muscles burning, her lungs aching. She thought of the soft grass of the plains, the feel of the sun on her back, the taste of sweet berries. Did her life amount to nothing more than this, a desperate struggle for breath in murky water? Was this how her story would end? But as she fought, something inside her snapped. She wouldn't go without a fight. Fawn gathered every ounce of strength she had, every instinct that had kept her alive for so long. She twisted, she turned, she kicked. And in that moment, her terror turned to pure, unadulterated rage. And then, as if the river itself was rooting for the underdog, it helped the tired animal to escape. Fawn, bruised but alive, staggered onto the far bank. The predator disappeared beneath the surface, defeated not by another beast, but by the strength of one animal's will to keep fighting, even when all hope seemed gone. From then on, Fawn was known as Fawn the Brave, a title she wore proudly, a reminder of her harrowing escape. The news of her survival spread through the jungle grapevine, whispered from one animal to another, until it reached the very creature that had tried to claim her life, the massive crocodile. He was old, this crocodile, older than most creatures that lived in the jungle. He had seen many seasons come and go, many animals fall prey to his lightning-fast reflexes. But none had outsmarted him. None had dared to defy him in the way that Fawn had. A slow smile spread across his reptilian face. Respect flickered in his ancient eyes. This little deer had guts, and in the jungle, respect was the highest honor one could receive. It wasn't strength or power that commanded respect. It was the indomitable spirit, the courage to face danger head-on. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the jungle, the crocodile called a meeting. All the animals of the jungle gathered, great and small, from the majestic tiger to the timid field mouse. Each waited in anticipation. They knew the crocodile wasn't just a beast of habit. He was a creature of few words, even fewer smiles. When he spoke, it was time to listen. And what he said next echoed through the assembled animals, through the trees, across the water, and into the very hearts of the jungle. He told them the story of Fawn, her bravery, her tenacity, her refusal to give up. As he spoke, the animals watched, listened, and learned. For in Fawn's story, they saw their own reflection. They saw their fears, their weaknesses, but also their strengths, their resilience, their potential for greatness. From that day forward, the jungle was a different place. The animals carried Fawn's story with them, telling it around watering holes, under the shade of ancient trees, and in the hushed tones of the night. Her tale became a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter how dire the situation, as long as one had the will to survive, to keep going, to never give up, they could turn the tide, defy the odds, and live to tell the tale.